It's with pleasure that I introduce Senator Anthony Portantino, who represents nearly 1 million people in the 25th Senate District. He's a former member of the State Assembly, and I first met him when he served as mayor of La Cañada, Flint Ridge. Senator Portantino, amongst other things, chairs the Senate Appropriations Committee. And with that, Senator Portantino, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Marcia, for being our mistress of ceremonies tonight and shepherding us through this. It's really good to, as the congressman said, you've never stopped giving back to the community, whether you're elected or not. And I've seen you at a church carnival staffing the booths as well. So thank you for being with us tonight. Congressman Schiff, you know, you haven't changed in the 20 years I've known you. 20 years ago when I was on the city council, I got a call one day from you saying, hey, we're doing some open space preservation in your region. Do you have any projects that you can nominate? I'm happy to facilitate preserving some open space. And we were able to preserve open space. And a month ago, you called and said, hey, can we do a town hall together? So you still have that local civic nature about you, and we're all better off for your attention to detail on our district. And I appreciate your friendship and your service, both on the national level, but more importantly on the local level. And Secretary Sue, thank you for being with us tonight. I mean, you are dealing with probably the single biggest issue of all of us, which is getting people back to work and helping people who have lost their job put food on their table. So thank you for joining us tonight and all your work for the governor. Appreciate it. Just to give a perspective, in the last several months, my office has dealt with 650 people who have reached out to us to help them with their EDD claims. That's just the number of people who have reached out. That's not the number of people in need. So if we're getting that volume, certainly it's an issue that we can all deal with. I do want to mention the congressman talked about testing and how important testing is. On my state website, we have a listing of all the free testing sites in my district. So if anybody needs to know where to go to get a free test, please go to my Senate website and get that information. This pandemic is unprecedented, both from an economic impact, from a human impact, from a healthcare impact. And God bless every family that's dealing with it and everybody who's trying to help get us through this unprecedented time. Last legislative session, or the session we just finished, a large focus of the state Senate was to keep school funding flat. If you remember, early in the process, there was a talk of making significant cuts to public education this year. And the legislature said, you know what, we have to stabilize public education. And so we made that our top priority. We know that there's going to be fiscal challenges going forward, but we felt in mid-cycle it would be detrimental to our children's education opportunities if we pull education funding this year. And we were able to use, again, through the good work of the congressman, federal funding to help us stave off those cuts. And so that was a significant legislative accomplishment. And both the Assembly and the Senate worked closely with the governor's office to preserve public education. There's a couple specific bills that I want to highlight. AB 1885 will help homeowners who are suffering financial stress due to the COVID pandemic from keeping their home. So look at that bill if you're out there and you're worried about losing your home. Again, it's AB 1885. And if you have any issues, you can call my office and we can help you research it. Another bill, AB 1731, on unemployment insurance, works with work share plans. And again, helping people stay and share their work so they don't have to get on ADD rolls. And so that's my good colleague, Bonner Horvath, AB 1731. And then Senator Leyva had SB 275, which to provide PPE for healthcare and essential workers. And the governor signed all three of those very important bills, and they sort of helped through the pandemic from different aspects. One of the challenges that we are having, and it's as the father of a child who just spent her senior year last year, getting our schools open again safely and securely, both for the teachers, the students, and everyone in the education community. That is going to be one of the biggest tasks, in the new year. Most schools have delayed opening, though I think there are about 700 schools that have had waivers that have opened, and the challenges, and it goes back to something the congressman mentioned, is testing. We have to have a statewide testing protocol to make sure that all schools aren't competing for labs and competing against each other. And it's something that I've raised with both the governor's office and the Senate budget office. And I'm going to be having a call next week with the Department of Finance to make sure that we have a fair and coordinated, somebody's telephone, coordinated testing strategy. And so I think that's very important. Something the congressman mentioned also, I have a daughter in Germany right now, and she gets tested twice a week on her job. And when she goes to a restaurant or she goes to a public place, she has to sign in and give her cell phone to help with contact tracing. Well, lo and behold, yes, she's giving up a little bit of her privacy by signing in, but the rate of infections in Germany is significantly ours because they've put in rigorous testing and rigorous contact tracing. So there's a common sense element to this, and the congressman mentioned the importance of wearing masks. Partisan. I mean, you don't touch a fire because you're partisan. You don't touch a fire because it burns your hand. And if we know that wearing down on the spread 85%, it just seems logical to wear masks. So with that, obviously my heart is out for the students who are struggling and the parents struggling through this unprecedented pandemic. And one final thought is, in typical recessions, public employees are recession-proof, typically. This is going to be a challenge going forward for our cities, our counties, our school districts, for our public government, which is so important as far as middle-class jobs. And I think that's where the synergy between the state and the federal officials, as we craft these relief packages, we can work in concert. And I know the Congress member and a number of Congress members have raised the importance of not forgetting our governmental institutions as a key figure in the economy. And I think that's something that we all can work together on going forward. So thank you all for being here tonight. And I look forward to hearing the questions. And so far, it's awesome. Thank you.